Wrestling. Dave Brown right along ringside, and we're ready to go. Another Big Day Championship Wrestling. I have my mic cord on down there. We're tugging away. Dave, let's get it on.
All right.
We got a big one.
Boy, I tell you we do. We're going to have Ric Flair here today on Championship Wrestling. Ric Flair scheduled to go against Rick McCord, and then we've got the Invaders scheduled against Dutch Mantell in another single match. That should be a good one. Then, expiration of time match today, tag team action. In this one, it'll be Sweet Brown Sugar teamed with Carl Fergie.
That's what it says right there.
Brown
Sweet
Sugar
and
Carl
Fergie
against, no, I don't either, against Terry Taylor and Bobby Fulton. Should be some action there in that expiration of time match.
We're looking forward to all of it, as a matter of fact. And, of course, the momentous occasion that brings the NWA World Heavyweight Champion here is that he is here to sign a contract for a title match. It'll be coming up in the future in the area, and we're looking forward to all of the festivities and everything else. So, why don't we get it underway, and we'll be back and ready to go with the opening bout and opening ceremonies for you in just one moment.
The Blue Ridge Mountains and Milwaukee are half a country apart, but both places mean one thing to these guys, something great. The Blue Ridge Mountains mean bluegrass music, and Milwaukee means beer. Cold, crisp, old Milwaukee beer, and boy, do they sound good together. Whenever you think of the town of Milwaukee, you think of beer. And old Milwaukee tastes as great as its name. It don't get no better than this.
I'm a Longhorn man. I chew the Big Red brand.
I'm a Longhorn man. I chew the Big Red brand. Big Red chewing tobacco.
More and more men are switching to the Big Red brand. They know they want tobacco flavor. It's got it. What it ain't got is that hot, harsh taste. Yep.
I'm a Longhorn man. I chew the Big Red brand. Big Red chewing tobacco.
Shrimp, fish, and chicken. 3 for the money.
Let Long John Silver put a smile on your face.
Our 3-top taste in a shrimp, fish, and chicken special. Big shrimp.
Crispy fish.
Tender chicken.
3 for the money.
At one special price. Shrimp, fish, and chicken special complete.
Let Long John Silver put a smile on your face.
Who else gives you 3 for the money?
Hello, World Edition. I'm ready. I'm ready to bring home the good times.
Renovision brings home the good times to you. It's easy to get the best TVs, stereos, and appliances saved, or lots of people say. Just call or visit Renovision. Home entertainment, home appliances, and more. Renovision brings home the good times.
Rent the brand names you know at Renovision. Panasonic, Magnavox, GE, Technic, Sakai. Rent to own. No credit needed, no deposit. Free service. That's Renovision. Call today.
Okay, before we get in the ring for our first bout, we do have Ric Flair, who will be wrestling today, in addition to the fact another outstanding ceremony that will be taking place. Eddie Marlin, promoter, is out here with us. And here he comes right now, the NWA World Heavyweight Champ. His first appearance on our Championship Wrestling, Ric Flair. Rick, we're delighted to have you here today. And we really appreciate your not only being here for the contract signing, which is a rather momentous occasion for this section of the country, but also agreeing to wrestle here today.
Well, hey, I want to admit to you, and I want to apologize to a lot of people out there, I've had the wrong impression of Memphis. You know, I got off my jet today, and they had a real big airport here. And I even saw a couple Cadillacs on the highway as I came over here to the TV station. And you, contrary to my belief, from what I'd heard, are a real literate TV announcer, and Memphis really is showing me a lot more class than I was led to believe. And Mr. Marlin here obviously promotes one of the finest wrestling promotions I've ever seen anywhere in the country, and it's a pleasure for Ric Flair, the world champion, to be right here in Memphis, and I'm going to do all I can to make this promotion as successful as any promotion that I take part in.
Well, I want to say on behalf of everybody in the area that, of course, everybody knows the tremendous background and what led up to being the World Heavyweight Champion, winning the title from Dusty Rhodes and all. Rick, we're delighted to have you here today, and again, we appreciate the fact that you are and have agreed to wrestle here on our championship wrestling, and I think,
you know, after being in big cities like Chicago and New York and Kansas City and Atlanta, you know, a person like myself, who obviously is a top-shelf individual, is led to believe that Memphis was nothing but rednecks and low-class people, and I'm really amazed. And Memphis has shown me a lot. And because, as you mentioned earlier, I'm going to wrestle on this program out of the goodness of my heart. As I said, I'll do anything I can to upgrade and to help professional wrestling. I'm going to strip myself of this $500 sport coat. I'm going to slide out all this gold, and I'm going to show the people right here in Memphis just exactly what a real world champion looks like. I know they're going to enjoy it just as much as I enjoy showing them.
Well, you mentioned something there, and we'll get into this important thing. I do want to say that that has got to be one of the most stunning watches I've ever seen, this beautiful gold watch that Rick is wearing. And that's entirely aside the point, but I got to bring it up because it is unique. Eddie, here is the big one.
Everything about Ric Flair is unique. And the more you're around Ric Flair, this isn't custom made, but if I keep coming in out of Memphis with the money that'll follow me, maybe you can afford a custom made suit. But as you'll see, Mr. Marlin, big-time promoter that you are, I'm going to agree to wrestle the Southern Heavyweight Champion, whoever he may be, in the upcoming future. Put the contract down here, my man. We'll make Memphis a big-time wrestling community. How's that?
Golly, I'll tell you one thing. We're looking forward to this one, and the signature goes down. And the agreement on this, Eddie, is, as I understand it, that Rick will wrestle the Southern Heavyweight Champ in the area. Okay, well, we are really looking forward to that, and while the date specifically has not been set, it will be filled in whenever your schedule is arranged where you can come in. We're going to be looking forward to that, too.
I'll be back shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself, because the Magnificent One is going to show you why he wears the 10 pounds of gold that makes him the greatest professional wrestler alive today.
Well, there he is, and we'll be seeing him a little bit later in his tights. There's no question about it that confidence is certainly a part of being a champion, and as you can obviously see, Ric Flair has all the confidence in the world, and we will be seeing him in action today. We thought possibly that the only thing that we were going to be able to do was to introduce our championship wrestling fans to him and have him here for the contract signing. The name is on the contract, and we'll be announcing today. Well, I see when the camera is on, the mic is open, who is going to take the opportunity to be here but the president of the first family of professional wrestling, Jimmy Hart.
You know, I just realized something, that I am the man in professional wrestling that makes things happen. Am I right, baby? Am I right? Listen to that, man. Look, cards and letters from all over the world. Why? For Jimmy Hart. For Jimmy Hart, man. I've been born again, baby. Born again. I feel so good today. I feel fantastic. But, you know, let me tell you something right now. There is a little something on my mind today. You know, I gave Jerry Lawler the opportunity of a lifetime to join the first family of professional wrestling. The greatest thing happening in professional wrestling. But what did he do? He thumbed his nose up at Jimmy Hart. He doesn't need Jimmy Hart anymore. He knows, you know, I know, and most of all, the people know that I won that match the other night for Jerry the King Lawler. I won. He couldn't even come close to beating Kamala and James Dillon without Jimmy Hart. But that's okay, Lawler, because what goes around comes around, my friend, because I promise you this, baby. I won that match for you. I gave you that belt, and I'll be the one to take that belt away from you. Because, you see, I have two very, very special surprises. One will revolutionize professional wrestling history when I make that announcement. But that's going to come a little later. But my new surprise, not today, Russell, not today, but my new surprise right now, my biggest surprise is I have a new member in the first family of professional wrestling. A man that has been abused and has been used all of his life. Carl Fergie. Come here, Carl.
Well, I want to ask you about this because I saw it, and I could not believe. I thought it was wrong when they said Carl Fergie and Sweet Brown Sugar.
Well, I knew you'd probably think it was wrong, but I'm going to tell you what, it's not, it's right, baby. This man has been abused and used by Jerry Lawler all of his life. You know, everybody knows that he is the cousin to the King, and I use the King very, very loosely, and the cousin to Wayne Ferris, who at one time was in the first family. But you see, this man won a very important match last week, and that was a battle of 8 men that he had the opportunity to have a Southern Heavyweight Championship match. And I promise you this, Carl Fergie, right now, baby, you will be my new Southern Heavyweight Champion when that moment comes in your lifetime. Because, you see, Jerry the King Lawler, your cousin, has put you on the back burner. He is so jealous of you and everybody in your family, but this man right here is the future, just like Sugar and Eaton's the future. So that's all I've got to say, baby. A few surprises here and there, huh?
Boy, I'll say a few
baby.
surprises in there.
Carl Fergie, baby.
Carl Fergie, who is the newest member of the First Family, and that kind of was a stunning surprise to us. Jimmy Hart makes it official out here and clears it up. He has joined the First Family, and we'll be seeing him a little bit later with Sweet Brown Sugar as his partner in today's championship wrestling. We are going to take some time out, come back here, and by golly, we're going to be interested in seeing the World Heavyweight Champ Ric Flair in action right after we take time out for this. Oh, yeah, Wave Country's Championship Wrestling continues in the ring, and boy, what a dynamite program it is indeed, as we've already started out with. Do want to tell you, Tuesday night down at the Louisville Garden, man, I love, in particular, the last two bouts. It's going to be a Southern Heavyweight Title match, and this will be interesting. Cousin Carl Fergie will be going after the Southern Heavyweight Champ, Jerry the King Lawler, as he won the right to represent and go after that title in a big elimination match. And then a Mid-America Heavyweight Title match when Dutch Mantell and Bill Superstar Dundee tangle for it. Billy's got the title, and Dutch wants it. Dutch, before you say anything, I got to start off. The folks you're going to see here in just a minute. Without provocation, you reached up, slapped, and knocked Dundee all around the studio, and I think a lot of people were disappointed.
Let me say one thing, Lance. Never let it be said that I didn't go after what I want. And you say it's without provocation. It's actually not without provocation, because Dundee got smart with me, and the people are going to see it coming up. Never let it be said that the Dirty Dutchman didn't go after what he wants, and I want that Mid-America belt. Now, Bill Dundee's walking around. It's securely strapped around his waist. Now, I'm not going to take anything away from the little Australian. He is a fantastic wrestler. This is a classic matchup. But I got his attention the only way I know how. Now, Dundee, all he had to say was, I'll give you a match, but he didn't say that. He hauled around back and forth. Well, I had to do something to get his attention, and I did. I got the match. I got what I want. You got to take one step at a time. So, Dundee, all I'm going to tell you, buddy, is you crank it up, and you get it going, and you do whatever is necessary, because I'm going to be doing what's necessary to win that belt. And when I win that belt, Dundee, I'm going to go all the way to the top with it. That's what I want. That's what I need. Dundee, get it ready, because I am going to be ready for you.
Let me tell you one thing, friend. You've seen some of them head and head, but you ain't never seen one like you see it. So Dutch Mantell goes against a very mad Australian in Bill Dundee. Tuesday night, they're going to be meeting in the Louisville Gardens, and they're going to settle some kind of an issue about who's going to be the Mid-America champion. By golly, this is a special occasion today. We had the world's heavyweight champion in here, Ric Flair, and now we've got the Southern heavyweight champ, Jerry the King Lawler, who's got that belt around that waist.
Yes, Lance, and it feels very, very good to hear you call me that again. You know, I told you it was a the biggest match of my career last week, and I was fortunate enough to come out the new Southern heavyweight champion. Now, I want to just come out here for a second for two reasons. First of all, to clear up all of this, you know, I thought I was going to have to send you a shovel out here because it was getting pretty deep a few seconds ago with Hart out here saying that he won the belt for me, and now I see he's even got my cousin Carl out here, and he's probably got his head a little going in the wrong direction, but it would only take me a few minutes to straighten that young man out. And as far as Hart thinking that he ever won anything in his life, he's sadly mistaken, Lance. I beat the man with very, very little help from Jimmy Hart, I might add. He was there as a diversion. But I want to make this clear. You know, I had people telling me all along that, King, are you going in the First Family? Are you teaming back up with Hart? Well, let me assure you that nothing was ever further from my mind because, you see, I used Hart. I made a fool out of Hart. I used him. I won my Southern heavyweight title back. I'm the champion, and Hart's still running around the same little clown that he ever was. If he ever thought for 1 minute that I would take him back, the only way I told him that I would take him back as my manager was if he carried all my suitcases, did all my arrangements, and was just a general flunky, exactly like he was before when I first had him. That would be the only way. He expected me, Lance, to join the First Family and be some first lieutenant or something like that. So I straightened him out real quick on that. Now, Hart, if you've got any other ideas about anything you ever wanted, business he wants to conduct with me, this is as close as you're going to get to me from now on, Hart. I want you to understand that, buddy. Just get within range, and I'm going to put this right upside your head. But enough about Hart, Lance.
Okay.
I want to. You're right. This is an exciting day. You know, I got here early. I was supposed to wrestle. I see. You know, they don't have my name on the list.
No, it's not.
They had me down against Pat Hutchison. Now, you and I know you could beat Pat Hutchison, couldn't you, Lance?
Hey, come on.
So I got dressed, and Eddie Marlin says, "You're wrestling Pat Hutchison?" I said, "Scratch me off the list, Eddie. It's no use me even wasting my time." But I would like, before I leave today, I would like to have the opportunity to shake hands with Ric Flair, the World Heavyweight Champion.
You haven't
I see
met
that
Rick before?
Oh, I just said I would like to shake hands with Ric Flair. He's supposed to wrestle now. If you could go ahead and ring the bell, maybe I could just stay out here. And,
okay, let me get around here, and we'll tap the bell, and we'll get the champion out here. Because he is, as a matter of fact, coming up in the next bout. He's going against young Rick McCord, and it'll be our first look at him.
He's obviously great, isn't he? I mean, you know, he sounded like he's full of confidence.
He is full of confidence.
He is
no question about it.
And there he is, right here.
Here he comes. The NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Ric Flair. Rick, can we get you, before you... Rick, can I get you to come over here just a moment?
Do you mind if I just wanted to talk to you for just a second, wish you well on your match, shake hands, and this kind of thing? If you don't mind.
Rick,
Plenty of time for that. Plenty of time for that.
Okay, and I think, obviously, these two gentlemen know each other, the Southern Heavyweight Champion, Jerry Lawler, and Ric Flair, the World Heavyweight Champion.
Welcome you to this area.
What was the name?
Come on. You know me as well as you know, well, you don't know Lance, but you know, we've wrestled on a lot of cards in Florida just a couple of weeks ago. Jerry Lawler, you know that. I mean, you know, I understand completely. Look, he's got that little devilish smile there. I know Rick very well.
I agreed to come to Memphis, Tennessee, because the world champion should give everyone an opportunity to see big-time professional wrestling at its best. But Jerry Lawler, I believe they call him the king over here in Memphis, is not going to take up any time of the world champion. Now, you see there's a lot of women in this audience over there that are dying for me to slide out of the $7,000 robe. And Mr. Lawler, when I get through with, what's his name?
Rick McCord.
When I get through with Mr. McCord, I'll be back. How's that sound?
let me say this now. It's all, you know, it's plain to see that you are here for one reason, and that is to impress all of these pretty women that you see sitting in the audience, and there are some pretty ones. You know, I heard you say that you had heard a lot about this area, about, you know, that maybe it's all rednecks and that kind of thing down here, but I think you can see from the people here that you were misinformed. And you want to, being the world champion that you are, undoubtedly, as you said earlier, the greatest wrestler in the world today. Is that right? Well, okay, what you need to do here...
I couldn't have said that better myself.
Okay,
Thank you,
fine. Oh, hey, you won't get any arguments from me. You know, what you want to do is look as good as possible. This is the first time that you've been on this TV in this area.
Right.
You want to impress these people. You want to look as good as possible today in front of this thousands of people that are watching. Now, I'm going to tell you something about Rick McCord. Now, I like Rick McCord, and this is no offense to Rick at all, but Rick is a young wrestler. He's fairly inexperienced, and I think it's safe to say that Rick has never won a match here on this television. Am I correct?
I don't remember it if he did.
I'm not saying that as a knock to Rick. I'm saying it because the man is inexperienced. Now, were a man of your caliber to go in the ring there, you being the World Heavyweight Champion, were you to go in there and beat Ric Flair and beat Rick McCord, you really aren't going to impress anybody. I mean, when you step in the ring, you wouldn't be able to walk in that audience and get one person to say that man has a chance against you.
You know, you and I just aren't communicating on the same level. You see, these people are here. I could go in there and wrestle a broom. They're here to see Ric Flair. Now, I'm telling you, I gave Memphis a little credit. Memphis has shown me a little bit more than I thought ever possible in the city of Memphis, Tennessee. But you don't seem to understand, these people over here have come to see me against anybody. It could be you. It could be Who's the little guy with the dark hair? What's his name? What do they call him?
Bill Dundee.
Bill Dundee. It could be anybody. Ric Flair, the greatest. Ric Flair, the legend. Ric Flair, your world champion, and all these people out here, world champion. So, makes no difference. You want me to wrestle somebody else? Give me somebody else. Competition is all secondary next to Ric Flair.
Wow. Rick, excuse me just one more second. You just said the magic words there. If you are the world heavyweight champion, there's no doubt in anybody's mind. You wear the gold, you're the greatest wrestler in the world today. So like you said, it shouldn't matter who you wrestle. Nobody's in your caliber, right? Well, why don't we let Rick go on back to the dressing room, and I had a match scheduled very similar to this man right here. If you don't mind, why don't you and I go in the ring? Now listen, like I said, no, wait. Listen, wait a minute, Rick.
I think the folks like that.
It's obvious to you that even I'm not in your caliber. Nobody in this area is in your caliber. So when you beat me, you're going to impress these people. They will be impressed when you beat Jerry Lawler right in that ring.
You want to wrestle the world champion?
Don't you think anybody wants to wrestle the world champion?
Hey.
It's an honor for me, Rick. I would love to wrestle. It would be...
What kind of a time limit do we have in these matches?
10 minutes. One fall, 10-minute time limit.
You want 10 minutes of my time?
I would love it. Is that all right with you?
Non-title, get in the ring, brother.
Wait a minute.
Ric Flair has said he will go on a non-title, one fall, 10-minute time limit bout.
Let me ask you one more thing. I realize I'm taking a lot of your time here, and it's very valuable, precious time. But since I or Rick McCord up there, and nobody in this area is in the same caliber of wrestler as you, and that's true because you are the one and only world champion. Since we've only got 10 minutes, why don't we really make this interesting? Why don't we make everybody out there at home excited, all of these people really excited, make this the most interesting, exciting show that there's ever been on wrestling, and put the world title up for just the 10 minutes. No big deal. You probably beat me in 30 seconds.
You're
the world champion.
You wouldn't be putting a little of that country jive on me now, would you?
No. You know, Lance, would I jive
the
world heavyweight
world champion never puts his title on TV. Number one, I don't make $500,000 a year, and I don't fly around in a big jet defending that title on local TV programs. You understand? But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Because you're a big deal around here. Because I even saw you on TV the other night. Boy, you were a real big deal the other night. Tell you what I'm going to do for you, what I'm going to do for you, and I'm going to do for Memphis, because I think it's long overdue. You get in that ring, the belt will be on the line, and I'm going to pull you through your hoop, Daddy.
Well, you heard it right there. Ric Flair said he would put the title on the line.
For 10 minutes, the World Heavyweight Championship is at stake in this ring, right?
That's what the man said. I didn't know you could have a 10-minute championship match. But Ric Flair has... So Rick McCord steps out. Okay, Dave, how about the official entry? Whoa, how about this? All right.
Introducing the challenger from Memphis, Tennessee at 228 pounds, Jerry the King Lawler, and the champion from Minneapolis, Minnesota, 240 pounds, Ric Flair. This is a world championship match, one fall, 10-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Well, I'll tell you, Davey, we have often said that on championship wrestling, where the unexpected can be expected, it happened today. Okay, we'll get it clear. One more comment from Rick before we get it underway here. Yeah, Rick.
Never let it be said that the world champion is not a fair man. Lawler's a big deal in this part of the country. He's a big deal in professional wrestling. But you see, his image was all Jerry Lawler because he never was in the ring with Ric Flair. So if Mr. Lawler wants to step out of this ring and walk back there before I embarrass him, and before, really, he has to walk out of this television studio with his head between his legs, I'm going to give him an opportunity to do it. So why don't you make that clear to the audience and make that clear to Lawler. If you want the easy way out, brother, just get out of the ring, and I'll forget it.
10 minutes, world title.
You really want 10 minutes with a world champion?
Well,
You want 10 minutes with Ric Flair? Daddy, you got it. Don't let guts get on this, brother.
oh, no.
That's right.
We got it. Well, by golly, I'll tell you, I take my hat off to the champion in this respect. He didn't back up 1 minute. And, of course, neither did the king. Bell time, and David, here we go.
Oh, world title match. NWA World Championship belt. On the desk in front of us here, it is at stake in a 10-minute time limit match as Lawler challenges Ric Flair.
Rick takes Lawler down. Face first, moves around, and Lawler squeezes out of it as Flair is right back over to the rope. Side headlock, Flair moves around behind, takes that arm in a hammer position, but nice reversal from Lawler. Lance Russell and Dave Brown right at ringside with an unexpected bout today and an extreme pleasure of having an NWA World Heavyweight Championship match. One fall, 10 minutes. I said I never heard of a 10-minute championship match, but if Flair puts the belt on the line, that's good enough for me. And I can tell you this, that it's sure good enough for Lawler. Flair moves in, bangs him with that shoulder, takes it around and under. And Lawler on a reversal. Well, he didn't beat him in 30 seconds.
No, that's true. He was unable to do that. Of course, he never said he would. Lawler said he probably could, but Lawler and Flair, a couple of well-matched wrestlers there.
All right.
I wonder if Ric Flair has seen Jerry Lawler wrestle much. He said he'd seen him on TV before. He had heard, oh, Flair. Back on the ropes and shoves Lawler back away.
When I get on the rope, you move back.
Back in the center of the ring. Jerry Lawler with the headlock on the world champion, Ric Flair.
Double wrist lock up top, and they're battling it, and Flair with Lawler now coming back straight up. He takes it into a standing side headlock.
Flair gave it his best shot in trying to power his way out of it, but Lawler right with him every step of the way. Shoulders down. Lawler with the shoulders down briefly. Had no trouble in kicking back over after Flair had rolled him up. Lawler hanging on to that headlock. As long as it's working, he can wear Flair down. Now Flair rolls the shoulders down again. Count of one. Lawler can make Ric Flair use a lot of energy in trying to work his way out of this hole. He fires Lawler into the rope. Lawler coming off of there. Flair lets him go by. Lawler ducks under. Reversal by Lawler.
He's got Mr. Flair's dander up a little bit, David.
I believe you're right. All right, we've got about, let's see, 4 minutes left. 4 minutes left.
Past the halfway mark, we've got about 4 minutes in time left to go, and Lawler and Flair. So that becomes a very important item, Dave.
Especially now, yeah, since we're past halfway mark.
Flair blisters him with a chop. the King now. He dropped down with the lower part of the leg. The referee said legal 1, 2, and Lawler kicked out of it. Lawler slipped the suplex. He's around behind on a sleeper with Flair.
We have less than 3 minutes left in the time limit.
And good night. Flair got the momentum forward and wanged into the ropes. Lawler went sliding right off and really hit his head on that floor. Outside the ring now, Flair going after Lawler on our studio floor. And we're down to the 2-minute mark about on the action. Yeah, right now, 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes on the time limit. Lawler whipped in. Big elbow. Referee Jerry Calhoun reminding Flair about the pile driver, Dave, I believe.
You're right. Looks like that's what he was going for.
1, 2, and Lawler again. Thought he had him that time.
He was close, but Lawler able to break it just before the 3 count fell.
A little under a minute and a half to go. About a minute and a half. Crowd partisan for Lawler, obviously. Trying to cheer him on and get him going, but Flair is starting to really put the steam on him. Another 2 count.
1 minute.
1 minute. 60 seconds to go. Lawler banged down hard as Flair again dropped straight down, mashing that forehead. The referee didn't call it. He looked awfully close to a knee in the forehead.
Okay, now we go to school.
Suplex. Flair straight up in the air, and Lawler crushed down on that mat at the 30-second mark. We've got 30 seconds to go. He's going figure 4 leg lock. He's got Lawler in it. And our time is winding down. That's it. 10-minute time limit is up. That's all. So the figure 4 leg lock is going to go for naught, and the bout is going to end up in a draw, Dave. As Flair will not let go.
He gave up, didn't he?
And the bout, which was an unexpected one for us here to see the King and Ric Flair going at it. But the 10-minute time limit, which was, no, he didn't give up on it. The time limit ran out. The 10-minute time limit ran out on it, and it is a draw.
We played by your rules. Now we play by mine. 5 more minutes. 5 more. Hey, no question. The world champion wants 5 more minutes, but the world champion wants the world championship.
I guess we have 5 more minutes coming up. Huh?
Referee says he doesn't know.
Okay, well, we're off and running on it because Flair going after Lawler. This is an extended portion, another match getting underway as Ric Flair says, I want 5 more minutes. And Flair pounding on Lawler. Lawler taking those shots from Ric Flair. He's driven back into the corner, and the King right now being brutalized. Look out. There's that Lawler move, and he nails Flair. knuckling Ric Flair in this extra 5 minutes. Is Flair holding on, Dave? Whoa. Oh, he almost kicked him right over that ring post into the monitor and on the floor, and Flair slammed. Look at Lawler go to town.
Flair taking a breather out here, getting out of the ring. After Lawler, it's been all Lawler in this second 5 minutes.
Flair grabs his belt and heads out of here. Ric Flair, after being... Lawler telling referee Jerry Calhoun that he left, count him out of it. And Jerry is right. He did pick up his belt and left.
He's counted out. I'm the World Heavyweight Champion, right?
Boy, I tell you, I just really don't know.
He left the ring. He's counted out. I'm the champion.
I don't know. Of course, that is nothing new. I have known what's happened here since we all got started in this. Ric Flair came out here. I tell you what we're going to have to do.
I'm the champion. That's what we got to do.
Jerry, I don't know. But
get the belt.
I got to take a break, and maybe we'll find out. Listen, see if you can get Eddie Marlin for me during this break. And let me see if we can get this thing straightened out. We're going to take a break, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll be back and try to get this thing straightened out. Yeah, he did walk out. So let's take a break, right?
Gentle Jim, great James. You didn't even wrinkle your socks.
Let me pour you a Sterling. It's brewed with only the choicest ingredients to give it a great big taste that's crisp and clean. Just like New Jersey. Well, a guy as crisp and clean as you deserves the best. Here, have a Sterling, Jim.
Thanks.
Hey, Sal. Cat. Gee, give a guy a Sterling, he'll give you the shirt off his back.
No one knew where he came from. No one seemed to know his name. But that didn't matter, because he lived up to his claim. He was a tobacco-chewing workhorse of a man. Yes, he was. And his chew was the longer-lasting workhorse brand.
Workhorse chewing tobacco. It's got longer-lasting flavor for the hard-working man.
And his chew was the longer-lasting workhorse brand.
Neon Night, the dance album with Human League. Holland Oates. It'll make you move with Rick James. This album's hot. Neon Night. Grab it. In stores now.
Friday the 13th, Part 3 in Super 3D. The all-new process that puts you in the picture. Whether you want to be there or not. It will scare you. Count on it. Friday the 13th, Part 3 in Super 3D. Rated R.
Now showing at these 6 selected theaters. Check your newspapers for show times.
Yeah. Yeah, Eddie. We've got to get this cleared up on the thing because Flair picked up the belt and left in here, and it would seem to me that would make Lawler the World Heavyweight Champion.
Well, it's real confusing to everybody except Ric Flair. I went back and talked to him, and he said, what's the big deal? He said, show me the contract for today's title match, and I'll produce the belt. So without his word, it wasn't a title match. So he said we had to have a contract. We didn't have a contract. Here he is right here.
Just a minute, brother. Produce a contract.
Well,
show me a contract that said I wrestled for the World Championship. Show it to me. You're a big deal in this town. You're a big man. Show me a contract.
I don't have a
You don't like it, it exists. You think you're talking to some country hick like this town's made out of? You're talking to the world champion, brother.
We took you for your word.
Yes, well, I'll tell you what. Take me for this, brother. You will never see the day that I wrestle Jerry Lawler. And you know why? I'll tell you why. Don't crowd me. Get in here, big man. This seems to be the only man in the whole town that I can look in the eye and believe. You understand what I'm telling you?
I hear what you're saying.
He's like me. He likes nice clothes. He likes a good laugh. He likes the soft touch of a pretty woman. And he likes money. So let me show you something, brother. Don't you walk away either. I don't care if you're a multi-millionaire, Eddie Marlin. I'm a multi-millionaire, too. Just a minute, partner.
I presume, then, that officially means that the title did not change hands. There was no title match.
Who's wasting it around? You know damn well it didn't change hands. Okay. It's on the waist of the world champion, brother.
All right.
Well, you know, I want to tell you something. I came out here out of the goodness of my heart. I flew my little jet in here out of the goodness of my heart, and you country bumpkins, you rednecks, tried to put something over on Mr. Cool. No way, Daddy. Not today, anyway. What did
Flair. What is happening here?
Hey, don't you worry. When I turn around, I'll tell you what's happening.
Well, in case you just joined us, this is the World Heavyweight Champ, Ric Flair, who has called this meeting with Jimmy Hart out here. Now, all right.
My personal check. And, brother, if you don't think this is as good as gold, call anywhere in the country. Anywhere. I got more money and more banks around the United States than any man alive. $10,000. You know what this is for? Because I want you to bring me the blood and the sweat and the guts of Jerry Lawler. And you, for trying to intimidate me, for trying to pull something off, are going to have to watch the slow destruction of your big-time hero. You understand what I'm telling you? I don't care if you're a multi-millionaire. You don't. Yeah, well, take this and take this. It's my word. $10,000, brother. I'll sign the check the day you deliver to me a piece of Jerry Lawler. I don't care whether you wrap it up, whether you put it in a box. I don't care. I want to hear that Lawler's got a broken leg. I want to hear he's got a broken arm. I want to hear he's got a broken neck. I want to hear Jerry Lawler is no longer a professional wrestler. And I'll tell you what, Daddy, because you're the man you are, that 10,000 is just openers. Now, you, Mr. Russell, I complimented you. I said you were a real man. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I can't help but believe deep down inside you didn't have something to do with this. And because you think Jerry Lawler is a big deal, you're going to have the privilege of watching this, too. Because we're going to bring in men from all over the world. And still keep your mouth shut, brother, when I'm talking. And Jerry Lawler, if you're out there, remember this, brother. You are going to belong to me as a present from this man right here.
Let me say one thing, baby. For $10,000, he might not even be alive the time you get back, baby. For 10 grand? For 10 grand? Woo!
Yeah, you came to the right one when you went to Hart, that's for a fact.
Let me tell you something. What comes out of my mouth is as good as gold. Put it in the bank. What I can't go out and get myself, I buy. And I'm buying Jerry Lawler's hide. I'm going to be very polite. Lawler, laugh, joke about this, but remember one thing. You've never come up against Ric Flair. And what I want, I get. You remember it, and you remind these people in Memphis, Tennessee, there's only one Big Daddy, and it's Ric Flair.
Okay, well, we heard it from the world's champion in a rather unchampionship-like gesture, getting Jimmy Hart out of here. He, in fact, did give him a check for $10,000. It's not signed, and he said he will sign it at such appropriate time as he has the evidence that Lawler is not wrestling anymore. We've got more action coming up in the ring, and we're going to get right to it. All right, action to go. And by golly, before I get into telling you the entire card for the Louisville Gardens on Tuesday night, I do want to tell you that Thursday, August the 26th, big bout in Owensboro, Kentucky. Thursday, September the 9th, Bardstown, Kentucky. Nelson County Senior High School is a spot, sponsored by the Boosters Club. And Thursday, September the 16th, Mount Washington, Kentucky. All those coming up. Now, Tuesday night, Steve Regal and Spike Hubert are going against the Angel and the Dream Machine. Terry Taylor and Bobby Fulton teaming together will go against Sweet Brown Sugar and Beautiful Bobby Eaton. Then it'll be Robert Gibson facing the huge Ugandan Kamala. And then an AWA Southern Heavyweight Title match. Jerry the King Lawler will be defending against Carl Fergie, his cousin. One thing you got to remember, Jimmy Hart will be sitting in the corner of Carl Fergie. The final bout, Bill Dundee, Dutch Mantell, Mid-America title at stake. What a night, Tuesday night. You got to be there.
Talk to her. Great. Come here often? What's your sign? Taurus, right? Didn't we ever meet someplace else before? No. Okay, forget it. Bartender, let me have the Strohs.
From one beer lover to another Strohs.
Make that two.
Here's your ticket to ride. Details Hit Express with Hugh and Lee. Supergroups Genesis and Journey. Non-stop Van Halen. Shatter the sound barrier with Loverboy, The Police, and Foreigner. Superstar Rod Stewart. Catch the excitement of K-Tel's Hit Express. It's in stores now.
Okay. Let me say one thing. I'm not going to take up a lot of time, but I've been sitting in the back, and I have been steaming, brother, because all I've been hearing is Ric Flair and Jimmy Hart and Lawler and Dundee and all this, and they got their own thing going. But let me say one thing. Belts and titles mean a lot. The Southern Belt means a lot, and the Mid-America Belt means a great deal. Now, I'm going to stand out here today in front of 350,000 people, but the man I want to talk to right now is the man who owns that Mid-America Belt, and that's the belt I'm after, Bill Dundee. And I want him to come out here, and I want him just to answer a few questions. Is all I want him to do. Now, I don't want Eddie Marlin. I don't want to talk to Eddie Marlin. I want to talk to Dundee. Because Dundee is the man who has the Mid-America Belt. And how many weeks did I come out here and challenge Bobby Eaton for a match? How many weeks? Well, a lot of weeks, right?
You did, right.
A lot of weeks I challenged him. And now here comes Bill, and I want to... now, no trouble, okay? I just want to ask him a few questions. Bill, right here, baby. I just want to ask you a few questions. Now, listen. Hey, wait a minute. You wait a minute. Bill, I want to ask you one thing, brother. You're the Mid-America champion. Everybody knows that, right? Yeah. I want to ask you what happened. Bill, what happened? No, okay, I had to wrestle Steve Kern, right? Right. Okay, in my opinion, I shouldn't have had to wrestle him anyway because I'm the #1 contender, right or not? No, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Okay, we're supposed to have a match. And how many weeks did I come out here and challenge Bobby Eaton for a match? Yeah. And you know why you won in the first place? Okay, I came out here. Did I or did I not come out here on TV and help you? Did I? Wait a minute. Did I? I did I not sit Jimmy Hart down in his chair so you can beat Bobby Eaton?
Well, I'd have done the same for you. You've been on the same day. You never asked me to do
Wait a minute now.
Yeah,
there's no big question.
Okay. You kept Hart there, and I beat Bobby Eaton.
Okay, you beat, but everybody knows you can beat Bobby Eaton straight up. It was Jimmy Hart that you got to worry about. I neutralized Jimmy Hart. And you didn't win the belt. You didn't win the belt. We won the belt. We won the belt. I helped you win the belt. So actually, what I am, I'm a co-holder of that Mid-America belt.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do with you, Dutchman. If you think you own the belt, you wear the belt a week, and I'll wear it a week, okay?
No. Don't get smart. Don't get smart. All I want to say one thing. I want a match, and I'm not getting a match. I'm not getting
You never beat Steve Kern, the man said.
Hey, I beat Steve Kern. Hey, it was a stupid referee.
Was anybody there that he beat Steve Kern?
Hey, were you at ringside? Were you the referee?
Well, I stood back and watched it. They sent everybody in, pulled you apart. The guy never held nobody's hand up.
No, he didn't hold anybody's hand up. Why don't you put the belt up against me, Dundee? Now, I come out here 3 or 4 weeks in a row. Now, what I got to wait? For you to lose the belt or retire or what? I don't like being in first matches, and I'm not going to be in first matches because I'm after that belt. Okay, Ric Flair comes in here. He's going to wrestle the Southern champion. What if the Southern champion has a car wreck? The Mid-America champion will probably take his place. It's like a card game. You got to play your cards right. And I'm going to say one thing. Hey, we're friends, right? But yeah, I want some satisfaction. I want a match. That's all I want. I just want a shot at it, baby.
Well, I'll tell you what you do, Dutch. When you go back and talk to Eddie Marlin, when he says, Bill, sign your name here and use it, I'll sign it. You'll sign it.
That's right, but not until he does the thing.
Oh, wait a minute.
And you can't be
Come on,
afraid.
Dutch.
The ladder's 9 feet tall, brother. You was
No,
up
I
the
don't-
top.
I don't
Now
think
you're
that's
down
right.
the bottom. You never
No,
beat Kern.
no
Did he
trouble.
beat
Now,
Kern?
let's not have any trouble out
No,
here, please. You
We're not going to have any trouble.
Come on, Dutch. Dutch. Eddie. We just hauled off and hit him. They're standing there, and Dutch just hauled off and blasted him once. Dutch, there's no excuse in that kind of stuff out here. Jeez. Well, there's no referee in the ring. Here he comes. Good night, Dave. I rang it.
Dutch slams the Invader. Dutch mad. He's got to cover 1, 2. It's over. 14 seconds the time on it. Dutch wins it. 14 seconds. He beats the Invader.
Well, I'll tell you, I can appreciate intensity, but I don't. Well, we're going to take time out. We'll be back in a minute.
It's year-end clearance time at your River City Chevy dealers. The prices have been slashed on all 1982 Chevrolets to make room for the new models. In addition to huge dealer discounts, General Motors is offering an additional $400 off on selected models. Your River City Chevy dealers have great year-end savings on Caprice, Cavalier, Camaro, S10, all 1982. So visit your River City Chevy dealers and look for this year-end clearance tag for the best buys ever. Your River City Chevy dealers, where good things happen in Kentuckiana.
We've got TVs that'll bring you the whole world before your eyes, and appliances to help you ease your life. We can give you music, the best stereo you can get. It's all waiting for you here, so why not get down, get down, get down. Get down to Jet.
Call Jet Rental for a good stereo, consoles, components, and more, all with easy terms. Let Jet put a little fun in your life.
Take another look at Jerry's. There's so much new for you. Good food from Jerry's Kitchen, served up just for you.
Take a look at what Jerry's and TV3 have for you. It's a free State Fair book cover. It protects all sizes of textbooks, and it's yours at Jerry's just for the asking. So go back to school with Flair, because Jerry's has got you covered.
Take another look at Jerry's.
Available at Louisville area Jerry's.
Kenny Rogers has a pack of trouble.
What about my phone call? Let me get you a dial tone.
His six-pack got him busted. So they busted him out.
Lucky for you, I'm a non-violent man.
Now he's on the run.
Oh, what are you guys up to now?
With 6 little outlaws
We got the boulder soldiers!
and 2 crooked cops on his tail. Six-pack, rated PG.
Starts Friday, August 20th at the Showcase.
Well, we're back at it, Dave. I guess you'll just have to go ahead and do it while they're fighting.
Yeah, they came in there as Terry Taylor and Bobby Fulton hit the ring. Carl Fergie and Sweet Brown Sugar went after him.
Stay on him, baby.
I ran it.
The bell has been rung. We are underway. As everybody came into the studio, they hit that ring running. And all 4 of them in there. Carl Fergie working on Terry Taylor. Brown Sugar against Bobby Fulton. About 40 seconds into this fall. Expiration of time match here. Fulton, oh, look out, hard in there. The referee at that point calls for the bell to be rung as Hart jumps in with a stick. And a strange start to this match. As is its ending, a disqualification. All four wrestlers in there all the way. And then when Hart jumped in with a stick, that was it. The referee has disqualified Carl Fergie and Sweet Brown Sugar. We're going to take a break. We'll be back.
Get ready, baby! We're ready,
Okay, got just a couple of minutes here to tell you about a couple of great bouts that are coming up Tuesday night down at the Louisville Gardens. Southern Heavyweight Title match, Jerry the King Lawler going against his cousin, Carl Fergie, who will be challenging Butt with Jimmy Hart in the corner. And then a Mid-America Heavyweight Title match, Bill Dundee and Dutch Mantell. More on that in a moment. Jerry, want to call you in. Got to be a peculiar situation going against Carl, particularly with Hart sitting in his corner.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Lance, I really don't have it figured out completely yet. You know, I understand why the match came about. Carl was fortunate enough to win the elimination match, so he was in line, and then I won the belt back from Kamala, which I felt tickled to death to do. But I'm not, you know, I'm not looking forward to this match. Like I said, Carl's my cousin. You know, it's hard to go in there and it wouldn't be hard to go in there and wrestle the man. I mean, because I enjoy wrestling. I'm sure he does too. But I don't enjoy having to fight somebody that's your kin, and you know, if he's getting tangled with Hart, there's something wrong there, you know. And what I'm going to try to do, Lance, is get this thing nipped in the bud and get him straightened out right there Tuesday night and see if we can get things back like they were.
Man, we're looking forward and hope that happens in there, Jerry. See you Tuesday night in the Louisville Gardens. Billy, well, it came to a head, and you signed the papers, and the Dutchman's across the ring from you.
That's right, and I'm just glad he showed his colors before he did, Lance, because he could have brought a chain into the ring, and he could have knocked my lights out, and it might have been all over, because I would have went there expecting to wrestle Dutch Mantell. But all my life, I've been putting up with creeps like Dutch Mantell. I think because they think they're a little bit bigger than me, they can just punch me around whenever they feel like it. Now, I went out there to talk to the man, and he knocked my lights out. Well, Mantell, I'm just glad you showed your colors, son, because whatever it takes to keep this belt, I'm going to do it. I'm not below bringing a chain to the ring and knocking your lights out, brother, because you showed your colors from the very start. I would have went down there like a fool to wrestle him, and you'd have done something. I guess that's how you got your name, like Dirty Dutch Mantell. You'd have done something dirty and sneaky. Well, let me tell you something, son. It works both ways. That may happen to you. I'll see you there, brother.
Our expiration of time match didn't have much time by the time I got through listening to the World Heavyweight Champ, Ric Flair, and a few other things that happened. A little spontaneous scrap on the floor with Mantell and Dundee and all. So I've just about recapped it.
Almost, yeah. We had Ric Flair in here. Rick in a special World Championship match against Jerry the King Lawler for 10 minutes. There was no winner in that. Flair demanded another 5 minutes, grabbed the belt, and left. He still has the belt. Dutch Mantell defeated the Invader. Terry Taylor and Bobby Fulton will be the winners in the expiration of time.
Well, Dave Brown, this is Lance Russell saying bye-bye.